My female 32, husband, male 40, has a son, nearly adult, from a previous relationship. We have a preteen daughter together and an infant. My stepson got a part-time job around Christmas. He works at Starbucks. He's using his money to buy mostly gaming equipment, games and clothes, but sometimes he also buys snacks. They're not special snacks, just Doritos or chips from the store. He likes to have some bags to eat while he's playing. He bought a big pack of stuff yesterday, after work, when he came home, and my daughter asked him what he got and started looking through the stuff. He had some candy and she asked for some. He told her those candies were his and told her not to touch them. She insisted on having some, and as he said no again, they started arguing, and she cried. She came to me crying, waking up my youngest son who was teething, and told me what had happened. So I told my son to just share some candy with her and help. He argued that he bought it with his own money, so he didn't have to give her anything. I told him that we buy most of our groceries with his dad's and my money, so we could use the same logic. He continued arguing until I threatened to ground him, and he finally gave in. He was upset afterward. When my husband came home, he told him what happened, and after dinner, my husband told me off for treating stepson as a little kid. He said that since he's being responsible with a job and getting his own money, then he should get to decide if he wants to share his snacks or not, and told me not to get my frustration out on his son. Am I the idiot? His money, his choice. So you are the idiot for that. Your daughter's old enough to know, no, that's not yours. So she's an idiot too. And if you enable her entitled tantrums, you are the idiot for that too. And as for, I told him that we buy most of our groceries with his dad's and my money. It's your legal obligation to buy food for your children. And the 8-year-old is not his child. She's yours. So your logic is nonsense. Don't be the evil stepmother. Say no to my child? You're grounded. Give her half of your snacks and go sleep in the cupboard under the stairs. And it's your fault she woke up the baby with her tantrum. Don't be the evil stepmother? Too late. I bet the last 8 years plus were hard for your stepson. Jesus, this reeks of, it's not her birthday, but we buy her presents too so she doesn't get upset. I was thinking the same thing. Considering she immediately went to OP, it's clear that this has happened frequently over the years. Instead of teaching your kid that the world doesn't revolve around them, you decided to take it out on a stepson? Tomorrow, if she tries to get stuff from strangers, would you threaten to ground them as well? It seems like it's too late now, but this might only be the tip of the iceberg, OP. Do better. Be better. Your stepson doesn't have to share things he bought with his money. Educate your daughter. She's the one who needs to learn not to be entitled. 8 years old is old enough to not throw a tantrum because she didn't get what she wanted. Next time, if you want to give her a snack, take her and your baby and go buy it. Don't steal it from your stepson. I get the distinct feeling that OP is bitter, that she and her husband are still financially responsible for their stepson, and that he gets to spend his hard-earned money however he pleases. Curious to see how she feels about her stepson eating groceries she paid for after he turns 18. I bet she will expect market rate rent the second he turns 18. Just watch. She'll be back on here. Am I the idiot for expecting my stepson's first rent payment on his 18th birthday? Came to say this. OP, how dare you hold parental obligations over your stepson like it's some kindness? Get a grip. You are legally obligated to care for the children in your custody. Your children didn't ask to be born. Finally, I think it's interesting that he's my stepson when working and playing video games, but he's my son when you tell him what to do. I don't know what it means, but I think it's worth pointing out. My sister got engaged 3 weeks ago. After they made the announcement, she asked me to be her maid of honor. Of course, I said I would, but the next day I changed my mind when I found out what the expectations were. Am I an idiot for doing that? My sister was upfront about everything, but it was too much for me. She's livid that I backed out. I told her that I'd only attend her wedding, which is up in the air, depending on cost. She says I'm a horrible sister for backing out. This is what my sister and her fiancé are expecting. They're having an engagement celebration at a restaurant. None of the food costs less than 100 euros. This is in addition to bringing them a gift. My sister wants her hen party to be in another country. She suggested Spain or Cyprus. Her fiancé wants something similar for his stag party. My sister expects me and the bridesmaids to pay for her portion of the trip and our own. They're having a joint wedding shower, which both wedding parties are expected to plan, host, and pay for. This is in addition to the bridal shower that my sister expects her wedding party to plan, host, and pay for. They expect gifts to be given at both showers. Both wedding parties must pay for their dresses, tuxedos, shoes, hair, makeup, etc. They aren't having the wedding here. They want a destination wedding. The wedding parties and every other guest will have to pay all the cost of travel, hotel, etc. themselves. The wedding parties are expected to help with wedding things. For wedding gifts, everything in their registry costs at least 150 euros. Then they read about something that's done sometimes at American weddings. My sister called it a dollar dance. They expect the guests to participate in this because my sister and her fiancé will use it to raise money for their honeymoon. I estimate that being her maid of honor will cost at least 8 to 9,500 euros or more. This was just an estimate. Tell me if I'm wrong. I thought the answer was obvious, but some people are aware of all the expectations and are on my sister's side here. My sister is still livid and won't even talk to me except to argue. The fact that so many people are on her side is giving me pause, and I'm rethinking my original position. Even my other sisters are split on what we think. Am I the idiot because I backed out of being my sister's maid of honor after agreeing to do it? Not the idiot, obviously. And Holy Mother of God, that is so much money. Unless all these friends are crypto billionaires or Wall Street tycoons. The number alone is absurd. Most American weddings, by the way, do not include a dollar dance, except maybe in some geographic regions and cultures, in which case, yeah, you get lots of cash at your wedding, but you're also expected to pay it forward with lots of cash at all future weddings. Fun fact, statistically, the more the wedding cost, the shorter the marriage. Interestingly, all these showers, hen and stag nights, dollar dances, etc. are free for the happy couple, so the couple's quite keen to freeload. Wow, that is beyond extravagant, and I'm honestly very surprised that your sister seems to have a list of several people who can afford this. She was clear and upfront about her expectations, and you told her you felt like you weren't up to the task immediately. Whether it's too much to plan and deal with or too much to spend doesn't matter. It's your choice, just as much as it's hers. Of course she should be disappointed, but she can't be mad when her demand list is that obnoxious. This is a money grab, not a wedding. Tell whichever sisters that are backing the bride that they can be the maid of honor. Get promoted to maid of honor at the low price of 9,000 euros. It's a bargain. That's just a ridiculous amount to expect from others. If you want a big fancy wedding / honeymoon / etc., then save up for it and pay for it yourself. I wouldn't be surprised if everyone else is mad you're not the maid of honor anymore, because now they're going to be asked, and they don't want the responsibilities that come with it either. They're only siding with the bride because they'd have to foot the bill. Is she offering a refund when they divorce after neither can get the other one to finance everything? Someone needs to bring her back down to earth. I, 20 male, had my aunt and uncle visit my state recently. Instead of staying in a hotel, they asked if they could stay at my place. I said yes, since they couldn't stay at my mom's, since her house is chakras with other people, and I really love spending time with my cousins, male kindergartner, female tween, and male teen. Before they even arrived, they started making unreasonable requests, like asking if my boyfriend, 25, could stay somewhere else while they were here, even though he lives here too. I told them to stop with the stupid requests like that, and they backed down. For some context, my family is pretty liberal. The family motto could be summed up as, mind your own business, as long as no one gets hurt. My uncle's kind of an exception. He became really religious at some point and then married his wife, which was the same. As you can imagine, that territory comes with the disapproval of my boyfriend. Nevertheless, I try to put up with it for the sake of my cousins, in the hope that being around me shows them that gay people are people too, and that there's someone to go to if they're questioning. A few days ago, they finally arrived, and the demands were immediate. They tried to take down a pride flag I have hanging in my lounge room, the only pride stuff I have in the house, and tried to ask my boyfriend to leave. Finally, after being in the house for about an hour, I told them to just screw off somewhere else if they didn't like my house. With that, they booked a hotel for themselves and left the kids to stay with me. I'm glad they did. I love having them here, and they're good kids despite their parents. But I'm starting to feel like an idiot. They can't afford a hotel for all of them, depriving the kids of spending time with their parents on a nice holiday. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. Those kids are probably relieved to get some away time from their bigoted parents and hang out with their cool uncle and his boyfriend. But why did they leave the kids behind? If you were so terrible to be around, you would think they would have taken the kids with them. There's no doubt about this. They aren't missing anything. Not being with their kids is their holiday. OP, they're probably thankful they have a free babysitter, which allows them to fully enjoy their vacation alone. As for their BS, they're not that full of pride because they treasure more the free babysitter than their opinion. They caught a chance and left their children with you. So don't worry. You save them time and money. You house them, feed them, and entertain them. You love them and you take care of them. What more could they want? And how much money would they have spent on everything? Yeah, we've all been having a fun time. The house is in somewhat a new area, so there are lots of nice new parks, water parks, and a native wildlife park close by. We had some fun petting some wombats, joeys, and even a giant eagle. Although we did have an incident where the youngest boy got upset because he couldn't take the eagle home. Unfortunately for us, we both had to settle for a stuffed toy from the gift shop. So I, 32 male, have been with my girlfriend, Sarah, 27, for 5 years, and we've been living together for 3. Sarah is exceptionally close to my younger sister, Jane. They're the same age and have a lot in common. My sister graduated college with a degree in fine arts, but has been struggling to get her career as an artist off the ground. So she works in something to do with behind the scenes in an art museum and does her art on the side. Last month, though, one of her coworkers told her a very popular art gallery in town was hosting a competition for local artists where they'd enter, and the gallery would pick 5 of their favorite artists to showcase their work at a showcase for every weekend of the month. Jane entered and won a really exciting spot. Sarah and I got dressed up all fancy for the showcase and went along to support Jane. When we got there, Sarah instantly liked one of Jane's paintings. I also liked the painting, but I'll be the first guy to admit I'm not really an art guy, and I don't really get it. I love my sister, and I think the painting's really pretty, but it almost brought Sarah to tears when she saw it. She went and bought it immediately. I don't really know if Jane got to pick the price or if the gallery did, but it cost $200, which seems pricey since it was the size of maybe a letter, but it was definitely worth it for how happy it made Jane. The painting arrived and Sarah was so happy, but quickly realized she didn't have anything to hang it up. It's not canvas, it's on some board. She stored it in our spare room for safekeeping while she figured it out. Last week, I asked her what she wanted for her birthday. It was yesterday, and she asked if I would take her to see about getting the painting framed and give her the frame as her birthday present. I said sure. At the shop, we found out that it would cost $246.84 to get it framed in the standard, not fancy frame. Sarah liked the frame, but I refused to pay more than it cost her to buy the painting to have it framed. It's a nice painting, but no. We went to a different shop, and it was only $4 cheaper. I can afford it, but I won't buy the frame. I still refused. Sarah's upset because she says I agreed, and she doesn't understand why I don't want to hang something beautiful with sentimental value to boot in our home. I told her we could use a string and a nail like everyone else. She's been a bit distant, and I can tell she's upset. Am I the idiot? Info. Why did you bother to ask Sarah what she wanted for her birthday if you didn't really care about what she actually wanted for her birthday? What was the point of that? Would you spend $250 on anything else as a gift to your girlfriend? The point is, he must show his girlfriend he's a liar. Great job. You are the idiot. Framing is expensive. That's no secret. You've got the money. The painting is your sister's work that your girlfriend really likes, and it should be properly displayed. Instead, you've gone with cheapness, because I guess it's more important for you to defend the principle of not spending more to display art than you did for the art itself. I definitely have a mini heart attack when I saw how much it cost to get it framed, as I wouldn't have had a clue, but I wouldn't for a second consider not doing it. It's his sister's first big break. How often do you get to decorate your house with a tangible representation of a beautiful moment in your life? The framing is a bit of a ripoff, but there are things that are a lot more important than you not feeling like you got mugged off. So you just have to take the hit on this one. I work in a corporate setting, which requires me to always be in formal apparel. I've gotten used to wearing formal clothing to the point that I prefer to wear it most of the time. Whether I'm picking my kids up from practice, visiting family, or going shopping, except for when I go to the gym, I wear tailored pants with a button-up of some sort. I know I'm overdressed most of the time, but I enjoy just being dressed well, which has become my style. My wife, on the other hand, is completely opposite of me. She likes wearing casual and comfortable clothes, like sweatpants and hoodies, which is fine. But my wife says that when we go out together, I make her look like a slob because I'm overdressed, making her look like she doesn't care for herself. We visited my in-laws a couple of days ago. I was wearing my usual clothing style, while my wife was wearing a hoodie and sweatpants. My wife's mother joked about me looking nice in my clothes. She then jokingly said that people would never assume that my wife and I were married, and I should encourage her to not dress like a slob. I just laughed it off and told her my wife likes being comfortable. This didn't go over well with my wife, who told me that when we got back home, I should stop dressing like a pretentious person, wear normal clothing like everybody else, and stop making her look bad. I told her that nobody cares what she wears, and I don't tell her how to dress, so she can't tell me how to dress. This turned into a petty argument that shouldn't have even occurred. Am I the idiot? Okay, pants with a button-down shirt are not formal wear. It's closer to casual Friday. Not the idiot. And if your wife thinks she looks like a slob in comparison, that says something. It's not as if you're in a top hat and tails. Regardless, barring any dress code or expectations, everyone should get to wear what makes them feel comfortable, happy, and confident. Her mother called her a slob, which is a parent issue, not a husband issue. Sounds like her mother picked at her insecurity. She was way out of line, commenting on your wife's clothes. That's a her problem. Why does your wife think it's okay for her to dress how she wants, but it's not okay for you to dress how you want? That double standard is unfair. Yeah, I don't think we're focusing enough on the fact that the wife is asking OP to change his style of dress to accommodate reactions to her style of dress. To look better in comparison, she must step up her dress game. If she doesn't want to step up her dress game, then she needs to accept that others will view her as casually dressed in comparison. She can't force OP to stop dressing nicely because people think she looks like a slob. That's insane.